Hello everybody, welcome back to True Crime Metrics. I'm your host, True Crime Metrics. We've just shared the link out, trying to get earlier on these streams, guys. Trying to get earlier on these streams, regular on these streams. It's going to happen. Got to stop promising until we're set, until we know we're ready, until we are good and ready. Yes, it's part two of Wendi Adelson's Interrogation. We put the word out on social networks. Why aren't there anti-social networks? You know, where the point is to avoid friends. You know, the point is to sign up and become a virtual recluse. Maybe that's where the world is heading. Yeah, what have we got tonight? Well, I think Jane McPherson's about to come into the room, right? She's been fully prepped. You know, and we're going to be having a look at, what's the title of today's video? What are we doing? How Jeff became suspect number one. But not really. I mean, you know, even General Isom's like, yeah, I don't really think that guy, you know, and Sarah Latour's not biting either. Wendi ends up saying, oh, you know, Jeff sounds really crazy when I talk about him like this. Sarah's just like, I don't think so. I mean, you haven't said anything that said Jeff would. Well, he's former military. And the overt nature at which friend Jane comes and points the finger at Jeff. It's unbelievable to do that much damage to a man's reputation and possibly land him in a situation which could get him a life sentence or the death penalty. Because your psychotic friend took you for a walk and said, oh, he was really jealous in Gainsville, went through my phone, started talking in legal terms. It was horrible. He flew into a rage. You know, so we're going to be having a look at that. What have we got? What does everyone think of tonight's thumbnail? Leave a like on the video if you like tonight's thumbnail, guys. I like it. I really enjoy making the thumbnails. Yeah, we're almost out of the merch shop with our General Ison t-shirt. Not quite ready. We'll be there. Soon, real soon. Welcome everybody in chat. Who have we got in chat? Let's say hello to Debbie, Martin, Michelle de Mateus, Mr. C, how are you? Kimberly McLean, C. Malone, Victoria Girl, Neverly Darlin, and Margaret. Welcome. Linda, hi, how you doing? Brian Fairclough, good to see you, buddy. Okay, let's get back to it.
This isn't something that anyone plans on going through or wants to go through.
Mm-hmm.
The rabbi was up there, and I'm sorry.
That's not. Oh, it doesn't.
I know.
And by the way, guys, please be picky. When I think we should make it a rule, especially for the mods. Always confirm, because the videos that we use, the audio goes up and down on them, you know. We really want to get the levels of the microphone matching the levels of the video. I think we should always make it a rule. I mean, please, be picky. I don't mind the extra work. I just turn it up, you know. But yeah, big difference that makes.
Oh, I know.
It doesn't matter. I know. I'm correcting you. I'm sorry.
And I realized that when I called Jane, I was like, wait, I wrote that wrong. Was talking about something about the rabbi and didn't know what.
I'm sorry. Phil was talking. His dad was talking.
No, the nurse at the hospital.
Yeah.
And this was prior to me getting them in contact about what type of Jewish whatever he practices.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He calls himself Flexidox, so he's Orthodox-ish. That's
okay.
why the rabbi is a good choice. The one that's here,
okay.
Oyerman.
Okay.
He's like his
okay.
denomination.
He is there. Okay.
So, and he's at the hospital.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. I just wanted to make sure because.
So funny how Wendi looks like she's giving the first fuck about any of this. What does she say at one point? You know, he's with the local Jewish stuff. whatever that is. Thank you, Jill Jane, for the super sticker. Thank you, Jill Jane.
That's what I thought, and my conversation with him is, oh yes, very familiar. And then when I talked to the nurse, so we may have been talking about two different people because,
Update on what's going on medically. Like,
you know, I didn't even ask.
Yes. Do you have an update? You know, is he dead? He's not going to pull out of this, is he? What did the innuendo call it? A fact-finding breadcrumb mission. And that's, I really think that's a good one-liner for what this is. She's finding facts and leaving breadcrumbs. You know, it's very, you know, those two things should be mutually exclusive, but not for Wendi Adelson. Not when you're a murdering manipulator.
Because I know somebody else is dealing with that. And my understanding is he's in ICU. Last I heard was he was probably not going to survive. But they are trying to work out the organ donor aspect of that whole thing.
And you told his dad?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Cue tears again, Wendi. We go from smiles to tears to jumping up and down to making jokes to shamelessly flirting with Mr. Buff. He hasn't come in yet. Just wait until Mr. Buff comes in.
Yeah, so they are.
And is he coming?
Sorry, it's Officer Buff.
Well, and Melanie spoke with him, and I hadn't had a chance to sit down and talk with her since, because I was on the phone. I was trying to give the nurse a heads up to say, hey, just so you know, we've talked to the dad. He's going to be calling, so that random person didn't call.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, Phil Markel's got that phone call. How long does it take to get from wherever he lives to Pearson Airport? What's it called? I always forget the first bit of that. Toronto Airport. Organise a flight. Go through all of the hassle of a plane journey with this situation in the back of your mind. Fly down to, probably can't even go direct from Toronto to Tallahassee, right? Change in Atlanta. Oh, great. that'll be quick and easy. It's probably like a 15-hour ordeal all together, right? Taxis. You've got to go from your house to Toronto Airport, organise a plane, get a plane, do all the waiting and the security, fly to Atlanta, get a connecting flight, possibly wait around in Atlanta for a couple of hours, then get another plane to Tallahassee, taxi to the hospital. No way you can do that in less than 12 hours.
And
did Alan say the kids needed clothes?
Well,
they can just sleep in their closet.
Well, and he didn't know how long you were going to be, and you know, stuff like that. And Jane called and said when you are ready to go, she would like to come up here and go with you if she need, just so you're not going by yourself. You know, that type.
Am I allowed to take my car?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Did they keep the keys or?
I don't know
I know she had the keys. Did we ever get them from? Did someone take the keys?
Jim did.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He may not have given them back. I'll double check. Again, you know, we're all doing different things, so I may have missed something, but I'll double check.
Okay, yeah, I don't have the keys. I'm gonna call my parents.
Okay. And y'all spoke with Exum about that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he said that's okay, right?
Yep.
Do you need anything? Are you hungry? I know you know, some people won't.
Alright. I don't know how to tell them this.
I think you're going to be upset.
They're very angry with him, right? Well, this isn't like it's their son, but he's the father of my kids, and this is a very, part of my language, fucked up situation.
Don't look hard. You're looking it up. I would, you know what?
You got that right. You got that right, Wendi. I'm going to agree with you on that one. It is a fucked up situation. But, you know, you knew it would be when you planned it with your family.
I let them, first because you're upset, so let them know that I'm okay.
Yeah.
As in you're okay.
Well, that's why I need to call them, because my mom would be like, what happened? Like, if the police called, my mom would lose her shit.
Right, and that's we always try to, get people there in person, or...
Yeah. She'd probably think it was the IRS. Is someone suing you? Again?
Kids.
Yeah.
So, just say, Danny.
7 o'clock already. I have to see my kids before they go.
No, Ian. Jane's yet to come.
Without me, but
and I'm sure they're going to be hyped up a little bit because they're
oh my god.
house.
Oh my god.
This is not a normal situation, and things are going to happen a little bit abnormal. And
No, I know. I'm just picturing
and part
I'm
of
just
it.
so innocent. I don't know anything, and I should not have to go through this. They're so little.
Nicole Kessinger.
They're resilient, and the younger they are, the more resilient they are. And you, I can tell already, are a compassionate and strong woman. And better than all that, too, is you've got an awesome support system, whether it be your family or just you've got a ton of people calling you. You've got a network, so you'll have people to help be strong for you.
People must be figuring this out. I just got a call from Karen, who's friends with Robin, who used to live here but is working now this year. I just got a call from Robin.
Sorry about the phone signal noise, guys. It's on the original video, and nothing we can do about it. It's Wendy's phone.
I don't know. Does your You're obviously the steam person.
Oh, hang on. Shit. We're way wrong place in the video here. Oh no, where were we? Okay. Stop, hold. Just hold on, guys. We need to review. Talk amongst yourselves. Give me 1 minute, 2 minutes. Yeah, Jane's been and gone at this point. Well spotted, Ian. So 1:44. 1:44.
I don't know specifics of
Well, right, his personal life, but you still know his personality.
I do.
And, personalities usually don't change very often, so...
Yeah. I'm gonna have a hard time not being sad in front of the boys. I need to tell them today, don't I?
I think you do.
Have you done this before? Doesn't matter if you've done this before.
Have I told children? I have not as young as your boys.
What do I tell them?
You know where your boys are at. You know kind of what you've talked to your boys, and I know they're so young, some parents have conversations about death and things like that, and some haven't at that age.
We had our first conversation about God yesterday, ever. And Ben was clipping into his car seat, and Ben out of nowhere says, "Mommy, I bet Abba knows a lot more about God than you do." And I said, different people have different beliefs about God. And so we get to the car, and Ben was like, "Is God a man or a woman?" I said, "Well, some people believe that he or she is an old white man with a long white beard." And Lincoln, who's 3.5, said, "God is dead."
And it's Ben's your oldest then, and then who's your 3.5-year-old?
Lincoln.
Lincoln?
And I said, Lincoln, it's like Nietzsche in the back seat. It's like Lincoln, who's still in diapers, but is having a sophisticated conversation about God. And I just was laughing, and they were asking such interesting questions, and I was answering them with like, different people think different things, and but it was just our first time we ever had a conversation. Really, they talk about superheroes a lot, and so sometimes they'll joke, they'll fall over and be like, "I'm dead," and I say, "I really don't like it when you say that." And they've talked about like animals being like, "He was dead," like on the ground. And they even quasi-understand Lincoln's named after my grandmother, and whose initials are LJ, so his initials are LJ. And he would say to my mom, who's still very heartbroken over the loss of her mother, he would say to her mom, like, "Is your mommy dead?" And she'd say, "Yes, you're named after him." And he'd say something like, "Well, is she in heaven then?" Like, so they have some fleeting concept of things like God.
They know heaven.
I mean, I don't know.
And let me just kind of back. I'm not sure what investigator Ison kind of told you. You know that he's still alive.
No, I didn't know that.
Okay. He's.
Is he possibly gonna make it?
I don't know the answer to that. I know
he made it sound like he was gone. So does that mean that he might be okay?
I don't think. From what it sounds like, I don't think he'll be
the same. Okay, but he might make it.
I don't want to give you that false hope.
I'm sorry, I just thought he was gone, and now I don't know what to tell. It's sort of a game changer.
I know, and that's why I was kind of asking you.
I didn't know that. He made it sound like he was gone.
I don't think it's good, though.
I know that's sort of what he said, but I assumed he was saying that like euphemistically.
And that's why I'm kind of because I don't want to be misleading in this conversation.
Is there any way to find out if because if he might be okay, like I want to bring the kids?
Yeah. She wants confirmation. She wants to. What Wendi really wants is for someone to come into the room and say, "Listen, I'm sorry to have to tell you this. I've just got off the phone with the hospital. He's been pronounced dead. He's gone. There's nothing anyone can do for him now." That's the goal. That's the number one thing that can happen for Wendi right now. She's saying, "Well, I think he might have been saying it's not good, like euphemistically." What would it be a euphemism for? He's been shot twice in the face. Yeah, it's definitely not good, but euphemistically. Bring the kids down. Bring Clue, Monopoly. We'll put it right there in the hospital bed. She's reaching. I think it would put me off. There's very clearly this hunger within her to find out information, right? Just let's see that brief 10 seconds again.
And now I don't know what to tell. It's sort of a game changer.
I know, and that's why I was kind of.
I don't know what to tell. I don't know what to tell who, the boys or the people back at main base. Yeah, I don't know what to tell. Ooh, and then change sentence.
Is he possibly gonna make it?
I don't know the answer to that. I know
he made it sound like he was gone. So does that mean that he might be okay?
I don't think. From what it sounds like, I don't think he'll be
the same. Okay, but he might make it.
I don't want to give you that false hope.
I'm sorry, I just thought he was gone, and now I don't know what to tell. It's sort of a game changer.
I know, and that's why I was kind of asking you.
I didn't know that. He made it sound like he was gone.
I don't think it's good, though.
I know that's sort of what he said, but I assumed he was saying that like euphemistically.
And that's why I'm kind of because I don't want to be misleading in this conversation.
Is there any way to find out if because if he might be okay, like I want to bring the kids to him so they can.
And that's kind of stuff we'll talk about in a little, but let me ask him.
I just think that's different, right? Like if he's not going to make it and he can see the kids one more time, then he should see them. So, is there are we getting up?
he should see the kids one more time. What about what the kids see? He's been shot twice in the face, yeah? She wants to stand over him, just hoping that he's got one last conscious thought left. And I bet she would have given him a smile, a little quiet smile, like, I did this to you. I did this to you.
Updates from the hospital?
They have been, they were at the hospital. Obviously, when, something like this happens, they do go to the hospital.
How did this... So, when it happened, did someone call the police because they heard a gunshot or something? How would they know to... Like, did he call the police? How would they know to take him to the...
Yeah, information, all of it, Sarah. I can tell that you're weak and vulnerable and beneath me. You've already elevated me to the status of rock star by saying, I think I saw you at the Red Cross giving a lecture. Would you sign my book of This Is Our Story?
Hospital.
I don't know the answers to all these, and I'm not, I'm going to let, when Investor Eisen comes back in here, I'll let you kind of ask some of those questions.
Okay.
Okay. But I didn't want you to think, I'm sorry, I just didn't want you to think that he was
I thought he was gone.
And that's what I...
Just watch how much Wendi Adelson's behavior changes depending on who she's speaking to, right? To the point where it changes so much when someone else comes in the room and Sarah's still in the room that you can tell Sarah's a bit like, I'm a third wheel now. And I'm not just talking about Jane McPherson. I'm talking about General Eisen. I'm talking about the lady cop, Mr. Buff. Her behavior changes dramatically. That is another good thing to watch out for in people, man. What does it tell us? It tells us that there's no genuine version, right? It's all a game. It's all a game play. You're here, so I'm going to be like this, and then another person, I'm going to be like this. So who's the real Wendi here? There isn't one. There is not one.
Getting from your conversation, and I didn't want it to be...
If he's still alive, I need to make different choices. I want the boys to be with him. I don't know. I mean, if he looks scary, then...
Right, and that's what...
And I think she's pushing for this, this, I want the boys to be with him. So that, I think sooner or later General Eisen comes in and says, no, you don't want that, trust me. She wants someone to come in and say, no, listen, I mean, he's probably about 5 minutes away from death. He's got fucking half his face hanging off. Don't bring the boys there, because that's, she's using the boys here to kind of pressurize getting an answer, right? No, I want the boys to see him one more time. We need to go to see him one more time. Unless, he looks scary? Does he look scary? Is that why he's scary? I hate the way she says scary. No one says scary unless you're 6 years old.
Is that why? Does he look scary? Is that why?
I don't know. I haven't seen him.
Because I think that would be more traumatizing for the kids to see like something horrible. Right. I don't want them to.
And I will say, from a victim advocate perspective, I always recommend people not to, especially young children.
They're so little. I mean, they could I want them to have. If it's gonna have to be memories, I want them to be good. Mm-hmm. Because their last memory would have been him taking them to school this morning. Mm-hmm. This morning. Is the police officer still at school? Like, are the boys safe there right now?
I don't know the for sure answer to that, but I do know that they checked on them.
And I know they checked on them, but like the kids, I just want to make sure they're okay.
Let me go talk and let me ask them that for you. Wendi, look at me. There's no reason for them to think that anything's going to happen to the boys right now, okay?
Okay.
And I just want you to know that there's no indications that.
But why would someone do this? Like, why wouldn't they just come after my whole family?
I do hear your concern. I do. I just want you to know, though, like, there's no, if there was an indication.
I mean, there's no indication some crazy person was gonna kill Danny, so why would they not think someone was gonna, like, anything could happen, right?
From what I understood, that there was someone that was at the school.
Did they didn't find anyone, like, running away at the scene, did they?
I don't know that answer, okay?
They didn't catch the gunman that we hired that could lead back to us, did they? Because, you know, I'm going to need to know that, because when I leave this building, I'm never speaking to you people again. So, facts, give them to me. Did they find someone running away from the scene? Any Puerto Rican or Dominican? Oh, man. Any Cuban-looking gunman running, covered in blood, and half of a professor's chin? Yeah, it's just, okay. Need to do a little count on the facts that she's checking. Obviously, she wants to check if Danny's dead. She wants to check if the gunmen have been caught that could potentially lead back to the people that hired him, her family. What else? What else? How did he get to the hospital? Did a neighbor call the police? You know? So on and so on. Let's keep an ear out for that, guys.
I'm sorry, I know I'm giving you a lot of I don't know.
I know, I'd rather that than you make something up, but I just have no idea what's happening right now.
I'm sorry. Let me go see and try to talk to Investigator Isom and see if he can give you a little bit more clarity.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, put down the mud pie, Isom. What is going on? Jill Jane says, put a sock in it, you're embarrassing yourself. I wonder if Donna critiqued the performance. They don't do that. They're incapable of seeing anything that they do as a group as less than perfect. Look at Charlie on the stand. You were so great up there. You were so likable and personable. Really? What were you watching? I was watching a little bit of Dan Rashbaum questioning Charlie today in direct examination. And Dan Rashbaum was asking Charlie Adelson, well, roughly it was sort of like, how much was your mother involved in your life? And Charlie said, well, you know, I'd keep her updated about things that were going on, but you know, it was my life. I did whatever I wanted to do. And these Adelsons, you know, that statement, that choice of wording, doesn't sound appealing to anybody, any normal range person, right? I did whatever I wanted to do. A better way to say the same thing, but in a less offensive way, would be, it was my life and I made my own decisions. Right? You see, the point of the message is the same, but what in one way you're saying, I did whatever I wanted to do, which sounds like a dickhead. And the other one is, I made my own decisions. Right? But these people, they don't get it. They've been entitled for so long. They've never been taught that that's a bad thing. So they're incapable of... They're actually... It's like the Achilles heel, right? They just can't think like normal range, non-privileged people. Where are we at with the plan, Wendi? Think of more information that you can gather. Isom is in the tea room finishing off Rhonda's birthday cake. I know, he goes out for these long pauses, doesn't he? Which all seem like he's in the chow room. You know?
Okay, I tried Lynn's office, and of course it's, you know, she's a state worker at 4:30 on a Friday, so she wasn't there.
Do you
I
have your cell
called,
phone for my phone?
not yet. I called Alan
What
and
is your name?
Sergeant Baldwin, Joanna, sorry, and I spoke with his secretary. He didn't answer his cell phone. I did get a hold of Jane, okay, so she is on her way, okay, and I'll keep trying Alan. They were sending him a whatever message to his phone, so he will probably call me.
Did
when he
you tell
gets
Jane
it.
what happened?
No, I told her, I didn't want to tell her over the phone. I said, I'm sorry, I'm being cryptic. Something's happened with her ex-husband and she needs you here and we need help picking up the kids and you're free to go with her when she gets here. We'll work on car seats. They may be done doing what they need to do with your van.
Oh.
When she gets here,
Jane. My first thought was that Danny had assaulted you.
y'all can take your car or we can get the car seats, however we need to do it.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Do you want anything to drink? Or, I know that's probably the last thing on your mind, but anything to drink or snack, or I know you were at lunch, but.
Just some water.
Some water? Okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
You got somebody?
Yep, she's on her way.
Okay, where's she going?
She's coming here,
Okay.
and then I told her we would figure it out from there. She doesn't have car seats, so we need to
Can
work
you get
that
with
out.
Couch, because he's doing the van,
Okay.
and they can move the car seats over to the
Yep.
other car.
And I didn't know if we'd be done or what, but we will get those.
Yeah, all right. I'm trying to keep you informed as much as possible.
Thank you.
I'm trying to be in a bunch of places at once.
My
It's-
grandmother once said you can't have your tuchus in two places at once. So it's hard
That's
to
true.
do.
That's true. Here's
What is that kind of shit? My grandmother once said you can't have your tuchus in two places at once. I really don't even know what to say to that. You know, you think she would have said that statement to Sarah Latour? No. Why? Because she's playing a different character. She's identified what Isom needs and expects, and what he's happy to respond to. Sarah's not going to respond to something like that. This is little niece Wendi now. Uncle Isom, Big Papa Uncle Isom. My grandmother once said you can't have your tuchus in two places at once. Oh, just smash her fucking head onto the table.
I'm losing my mind over here.
okay.
Grab that pineapple fucking bun on the top of her head and break the fucking table in half with her face.
This is the thing, all right? I'm my understanding, okay, I'm going to give you the let me do it backwards, because this will be easier, or not backwards, but the other way.
Is he still alive?
Clinic,
Facts. I need facts. Is he still alive? What does that mean? Did they find a gunman?
He's not going to live.
What does that mean?
He has
he
a
brain
severe,
dead?
yes, he has a severe brain injury.
So much shot him in the head.
It's apparently there's too much damage.
Look at that face. Look at that face. Look at that bad acting face.
To recover from it. Okay? That's why we need to get a hold of his
family.
parents. Right.
I don't know what his, I don't know if he has an advance directive or
Right.
what he would have wanted. He once told me that he would want we joked, I said I would want to be if I have an advance directive, I do this kind of work, I run a medical legal partnership, if I once said if I ever was brain dead, I would want to be I'd want the plug pulled,
Right.
and he said he would want all efforts made, he would be cryogenically frozen, he wanted every single effort that could be made to keep him alive. I know that much.
My understanding, and that's what we'll have to get a hold of the family as soon as possible, but my understanding is there's irreparable damage. There's nothing that can be done. I mean, I'm not there, I wasn't there, but I understand from previous cases that the brain, his brain is damaged beyond repair. There's nothing that can be done for that.
Is he still alive? Should I bring the kids to see him?
No. He has severe facial injury. I'm sorry, and I know this is tough, but I would not want my children to see.
Okay, I just thought I got this inkling that maybe he was still somewhat conscious, and I
No.
wanted him to get to be with them. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that, but that's
Okay.
the way it is. Like I said, there's severe injury, trauma.
Okay.
All right.
Is there someone is there a doctor working on him, or are they just?
There's doctors at the trauma bay, the ER.
Yeah.
I think he's been transferred to ICU.
Okay.
All right, and they'll have to make a determination about organs.
Oh my
and
God.
so forth.
Oh.
So, hence, hopefully we can.
Okay, the kids. Yeah, the kids.
All right, now let's talk about the kids. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. I don't know who the contact person was. Was it one of the ladies that you were eating with?
I
No.
got Miss McPherson.
I thought I wasn't supposed to contact them, so I didn't ask about those two because I thought it seemed. Anyway, I
That's
asked two
fine.
other women I'm friends with.
Okay, that are familiar with
I
the
think
children.
Jane is who they got.
Does the daycare place have to be contacted to allow her to?
Oh, I kind of thought I would go with her.
Okay, here's the thing. All right, as soon as his phone comes back,
Yeah.
I have to ask you some questions about I've already known about the phone.
Yeah.
Would it be possible for?
It would be weird for Jane to Jane likes the boys a lot, but it would be better for Lynn to pick them up, just because Lynn has picked them up before. When Danny had a back surgery,
Okay.
they call her Aunt Winnie. They're really close with her. If we could get her cell phone number,
Okay.
Do
or
Lynn
her
and Jane know
daughter,
each other at all?
probably a little through me,
Through you, but not friends.
Yeah. I mean, Jane's a therapist. She'd be very comforting. She has two kids of her own. She'd be fine. But I'm trying not to freak the kids out any more than necessary. So Lynn or Alan, her husband, Alan or Lynn would be the best choice.
You don't have a number by heart for them?
No.
Okay.
Here, let me go check with Joanna and see
Please.
where she got, if she got far with them.
The reason being is.
You need to talk to me.
Yes.
Okay.
And you've been great. I mean, you understand exactly how we have to do things, and I haven't had to explain a lot of stuff, but really, I feel the need to. I really want you here.
Okay.
If and you're not under arrest or anything like that.
I understand why you
But,
think I'm the
but-
primary suspect.
No, you're not the primary suspect.
That's the other. That's the other thing she keeps asking, right? So what have we got? We should be writing this down. Is Dan dead? Did they find a gunman? Am I a suspect? What was the other thing? What was the other thing? She just said it a minute ago. It'll come back to me.
I have to work just as hard whether you were or you're not.
Okay, I understand.
To show what your activities were.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's put it this way. I think you're a straightforward person. And I think at this point, if you had anything to do with this, you'd have already told me.
Okay.
And you haven't. So my thing is that let's let the...
My ex-husband caused me a lot of grief. I would never do something like that.
I know. And it's going to...
So I understand why I would be the person you would think would do something, but...
Well, we have to work just as hard to eliminate
it's
people.
fine. I want to figure out who this is, because
Right.
I honestly worry.
They always say that, don't they? It's like when he's heard about Charlie telling the hitman joke. He's like, "Listen, I have to do a lot of elimination at the same time. So your brother Charlie, what kind of car does he drive?" Yeah, we have to eliminate people until we find the person that did it, right? It's identify or eliminate, not just eliminate. we don't go to someone that we think might have nothing to do with it at all and say, we need to eliminate you for no reason. Where were you? South Africa. Okay, well, you're eliminated.
Well, let me ask you, if you found out that this was someone that you personally know, would that change your mind about what should happen to that person?
About what should happen to that person?
For prosecution purposes.
No.
Is there any way that you would think
somebody tried to kill my ex-husband, they should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
Regardless of who it is.
I mean, it would be different if I thought it were my brother, but I don't think it was my family. Anyone outside my immediate family, that's a tough one.
Okay.
But I don't think my immediate family did this. So if it's anybody else, yeah.
Okay. Would you think that this guy Charlie would even be capable of doing something like this?
No.
Let's just talk.
He's the Joker.
Okay. All right. Based on the fact that the clock is already ticking, all right, and we have to do as much work as possible up front. That's why I want you to stay here, if at all possible.
Okay.
But you're these children's mother, and if they have somebody...
I can't freak them out, you know?
Nobody's going to freak them out.
I know, I'm just saying, like, my kids, like, they're already going to have to deal with so much. Like, they're going to wonder where I am, and the best thing would be Lynn and Alan, to have them hang around with them. My friend Janine, I was with two women. One of them is they're both doctors, but one of them has kids that the boys are friends with. And so, like, he could go over their house. They could go over their house and spend time. I don't want them, like, where's mommy? What's
Mommy's
going on?
busy. Mommy's busy, can't come here right now. Will that suffice?
For a little while, yeah.
Okay. All right. Lynn, do we have a number for Lynn?
Joanna tried to get in contact with her, left a message at Alan's office for him to call. They haven't heard back yet.
Can they page him? Like, do they have a...
Now, I know Jane's on the way here, and you just don't think she...
I mean, I think she'd be okay. I think I'd rather Jane. Jane has just never picked up my kids before.
Would the school have a problem with Jane picking them up?
Given the circumstances, no.
Okay. Well, I mean, do they have to have authorization?
They probably do. I mean, I can call the school, and I mean, this is a very unusual circumstance. I could call the school and tell them I approve Jane McPherson to pick up the kids, and then...
Does she have a place to take them?
I mean, she has a nice house, a comfortable, you know, like
She
a
willing to do
child-friendly
that?
house.
I mean, I know she's on her way here
She
now.
doesn't know what happened, I don't think. She just knows I'm here.
Let's get Jane's on her way here, all right, and the school's out on Tharp, and I'm assuming she lives up in the northeast part of town.
Quite an assumption. Yeah, she's off Waverly. And her husband is a writer, so both parents are around.
Okay. let's have Jane. Do you want me to talk to her, or just tell her that, or have Joanna tell? I'll talk to her.
I think someone should. Jane was a victim advocate too for a while. She's in there. Jane McPherson.
McPherson.
My
Was she a
friend
victim advocate?
In Gadsden.
Okay.
Maybe she wasn't. She's a therapist.
Okay.
Does she do something at the university now, or is she just a PhD
She was the 1
student?
million bones woman.
Okay, that's where I know it's coming
All right.
from.
Will you coordinate with her, and let her call the school to have Jane pick the children up? I'm going to redirect Jane to the school directly.
Okay.
It's what's
Creative
yours?
Preschool. It's on Tharp. Right past there's a Magnolia School, and then there's Creative on your right.
It's
Creative
right up here, right?
It's on Tharp.
Um,
There's
Talk
a
about
couple.
west of town.
There's a couple. I'm really bad with directions. If you were to go all the way up Tennessee
Right.
and turn right, like on, I think it's Ocala, right
Right.
where Super Perros is, and then you'd make a left on Tharp. You'd go up a little ways more, and it would be on your right.
Creative preschool.
I'm gonna throw up.
Come in the bathroom if you need to.
Okay.
do you
Leave
want to
this
go in there for a
open?
bit?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Well, let me know if it's that. I'm just gonna Google if that's okay.
Creative Preschool, yeah. Whoa. Yeah, that sounds right. Uh-huh.
Do you want to?
It's like a whole cast of characters. You get Jane from 1 Million Bones. Were you involved in that?
I knew about it, and I know I saw a lot of stuff on it.
Yeah.
I can't recall if I've done anything directly with it. But do you want me to talk to them first, or do you want to?
Would you tell them what happened or no?
No.
Okay. I will talk to them. Yeah. Hi, Mr. Chuck. This is Wendi, Ben and Lincoln's mom. Hi. I'm not going to be able to pick them up today, but my friend Jane McPherson's going to come. Is that okay? Her name is Jane McPherson. She's a petite woman with short blonde hair. Yes. She should have her ID if she's driving. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Chuck. Are the boys doing okay? Okay. Well, that sounds great. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Bye. My kid's outside playing. Ben is in the blocks area playing with blocks.
They're only a year and a half apart, so they'll be like a year behind each other every time in school, right?
They have Ben's a July birthday, Lincoln's October, so they may end up a little more spaced.
Okay. So like have the because July he'll probably be like the young baby in classes.
That was our.
He'll be the older.
That's what we were supposed to talk about this morning. Is like whether Ben should start kindergarten or go to kindergarten twice, or what he should do. And then he didn't call me back, which was weird.
Are you thirsty?
Yeah.
Let me see if I.
Is it Joanne or Joanna?
Joanna.
She said she's gonna bring some water.
Okay. We're kind of all running around. Let me
you
get
feel
that
like
for you.
not
Let me
being
grab
around
some more tissues too.
I've gone through.
Oh, I want to be around you. I just know if I was sitting here, what would I probably want? Not much, but I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay.
Listen to it. What a fucking baby. I mean, what a fucking baby. Unbelievable.
I guess this is a very different version of me he saw on stage speaking versus having this. Thank you for that.
Yes, but this is an acceptable version given the circumstances.
I just keep picturing the kids and I'm going to tell them.
And from what I understand, Lynn's here.
Lynn's here?
Yeah, I think they're going to go ahead and have her go pick up the kids.
Should I just like get a hug from her?
Let me see if she's still here. Okay. She's not up here probably, so let me see.
I'm sorry, I don't want to run you around. It's
No.
fine. Don't
Hey.
worry about it.
Hey.
I just,
Do you want a hug from her?
I'd really love, yeah. Some
That's okay. Sometimes all I can do is run around, okay?
Injection of reality.
I'll be right back, okay?
I really like these bits when people are just sitting in the room, you know. There's a lot said in a silence, right? Pile of tissues just sitting on the table. Disgusting. You know, there's obviously a trash can on the floor. Those are props, right? See? See the tissues? That's how upset I am. That's exactly how upset I am. It's proof of my innocence. A lot of people would skip this bit. I think it's really important. I think it's important that we see every second. Glad you agree, Michelle. Yeah, absolutely, Ian.
Sorry.
Regrouping and strategizing.
Yes, sir. Who's going to get Jane and bring her here for you to see?
Ellen is going to get Jane. I'm sorry.
Investigator Isom, which is the man that's been talking to you. He's going to grab her.
Grab Jane?
Yes, and Jane kind of voiced to Joanna, the kids probably wouldn't really necessarily recognize her. So, and in the meantime, Alan and Lynn got in touch with Joanna, so I think now what's happening, and Joanna already called the preschool. Sorry, I know this is a lot of information taken, but I think Lynn's going to come here, get car seats, go to the preschool.
She can't take the car because they're, like, examining the car.
I think, or I don't, but essentially,
if they
yes.
can take the car seats out, the car's so dirty.
Okay.
It's covered in Cheerios. And I actually meant to make an appointment this week to get it cleaned, and I didn't get around to it. So, so they're going to take the car seats out of the car, put them in Alan and Lynn's car.
And then they'll bring them.
Alan and Lynn, like, the kids will be quite comfortable around them.
Right, okay.
And Jane's right, she hasn't seen the kids in a while. So Jane's coming in here now?
Yes.
Does she know what's going on? Do Alan and Lynn know what's going on?
I think they know that he's been seriously injured. I don't.
Hi.
Hi, honey.
dear.
Oh, here we go. Look at Wendy's face as she sees this perfect act, you know. This might not have been possible to happen. The interview has gone very well for Wendi, right? And now her prepped friend has come in who's just gonna tear down Lacasse for no reason other than what Wendi says. And how long has she known this woman? I don't think a long time.
Hi, Annie.
Did you see her reading how to play the part now? There were about 3 options that went through Wendy's head at that moment. And that's what she's reasonably good at, is feeding off other people, right? Her actual performance doesn't measure up to something that you could call award-winning, but she is capable at recognizing the part that she should play, right? She's a niece to Isom, a sister to Sarah, or a rock star. And to Jane, well, let's remind ourselves, how does that go?
He's been seriously injured. I don't...
Hi, Annie. Oh, dear. Oh, Wendy.
I really needed some help. I'm sorry, I needed to call you.
Okay, sweetie.
Did they tell you?
They didn't tell me. I know.
Are things on the news?
It is on the news, but I don't know anything. I know there was a shooting in Danny's block this morning. That's all I know.
That's all I know.
Oh, dear. Oh, honey. Do you know how he is?
It's not good, Jane.
Really?
I was driving up the street and I saw like the tape and I just thought, oh, maybe there's like an electrical outage or something. Like I saw the street blocked.
Yeah.
So
I was driving into
I thought it was a tree. Electrical things would happen.
I was running errands, I was meeting some friends for lunch, and I drove up Trescott because it's the shortcut. And so I drive
Should we go to the maps? Let's see if we can do a map.
up Trescott, and I see the tape, and I was like, I guess there was like an electrical outage, because sometimes we'd have trees that would fall or whatever.
And I was like, I guess there was an electrical.
And so I turned around and didn't think anything of it. I was at lunch with 2 friends, and the officer shows up. And I've been here since then.
And you don't have a phone?
Well, I had a phone. I said you can search my phone because maybe they can like find something useful on it.
We have to go through a lot of these steps, and as I was explaining to her, it's just as much effort to go through the steps to exclude anybody that could possibly be involved.
Well, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So we have her phone. As soon as apparently it's taking a little bit longer than normal, and as soon as we get done with the phone, she'll get it back. So but the main thing I was concerned about is the kids need to be picked up on Friday.
Right.
And so when I came and they said they'd spoken to the Grossmans,
Yeah.
I was like, I'll get the kids. I'm a
Right.
social worker. I've picked up kids that don't know me before, but I
Right.
think
I
especially
said,
given this.
I gave them your name and Lynn's name and
Right.
said, I think like Alan and Lynn have done it. Like when Danny had his back surgery, Alan and Lynn did it before. So because I was out of town,
and
so
they
like
have,
they've
they
done
have.
it before. And they've got 4 kids, so they can.
I have, you're going to be here for a while? You want me to
I think
get... So, like, I might have a blanket in my car or something?
Do we have anything
Do you have
here, or
something
have they all
for
been used?
somebody who could get
Let
it?
me check.
This
see if
one
I have
is
one that's good enough
freezing.
for her.
And I apologize. I thought about that when she was shivering earlier, but I guess got a lot of stuff.
Service, we need a blanket and a menu, okay? I'll have the chicken palm, and my associate here will have the fillet. Very lean, not so lean that it lacks flavour, but not so fat that it leaves drippings on the plate, and she doesn't want it cooked, just lightly seared on either side, pink in the middle. Not true pink, but not a mauve either. Somewhere in between. Bearing in mind the slightest error either way and it's ruined. Think you can handle that, Isom?
Clearly, there's
It's
a
not
there's
really
a
the most
it
important
isn't
thing
it's
right
not
now.
the most important thing.
No. I saw her shivering, and I kept thinking I'll go out and find out if there's. They had a bunch of them. They had a bunch of them, but I don't know what's still available.
So what do you mean he's not good? What do you know about this?
I don't think he's gonna make it.
Oh my God. Really?
I don't know how I'm gonna tell the kids.
Let's put that
That
on.
would be great. Thank you.
Thanks.
You really don't think that? You know that?
What's that? I'm sorry.
You know that they don't think he's gonna make it through this?
You're not gonna make it.
He's a TMH right now?
I was asking because I thought maybe he would, and I wanted
Right.
I wanted the kids to be
This-
with him, and he was
okay.
okay.
Okay. And he has family and stuff like this, but something.
We don't have
No.
any family here in
No,
Canada.
it's-
Right, I know, but I mean,
There's no family here.
They don't.
girlfriend, anybody come down? Nothing?
Amy, I don't know if Amy knows yet. I don't have Amy's phone number.
Amy's on
Oh.
Facebook.
I'll contact her later.
She's on Facebook. I mean, she can be found.
Yeah. I was thinking of one more thing. This is really tangential, but his friend I told you about, Matt Price, his wife's brother was killed. So if you're going to call someone first, Matt's going to lose it. So
I don't intend on calling Matt. I just need to have the background on different associates and friends and so
Right.
Yeah.
forth. You know, my objective is to find out who did this. So, based on what you've told me, I'm going to take that information, compile it with other information that other investigators have worked on, and we'll see where it leads.
okay.
And Jeff hasn't had a single mention all the way through. We are 2 hours 30 into the interview. Jeff has not had one single mention, not a reference, nothing. His name has not come up. She's gone over and blamed Amy Adler's ex-husband. I mean, that's it, right?
I'm not saying anybody that you told me about is any way involved.
Is there
I
any
don't know.
sign of stuff being stolen from the house?
I can't discuss it.
Okay.
So,
But you are discussing that you don't think he's going to live.
well, I'm telling you a fact that I know he's not going to live. He's not going to live. Okay. So,
Is he dead? No.
well, I already discussed that with her. He has enough injury that's traumatic enough
Yeah,
that
I already discussed that with her, the relevant person. You're here to fucking sort out the car seats, lady, okay? This is not your investigation. This is my investigation.
he's not going to be able to recover from it.
Did Lynn already go get the boys?
Yeah.
What's happening right now is Lynn's on her way here. She doesn't have car seats. Going to take the car seats out of your van, put them in Lynn's vehicle, and she's going to go directly to Creative Preschool.
She has a key to my house, so she can
pick up the kids. If I get a chance to, when she arrives, I will talk to her briefly and basically tell her, you know, let's wait on discussing anything with the children.
Yeah.
I'm sure she would do that anyway.
Yeah, I wonder if it would be better if she didn't know. Like if you,
It's, I mean,
just so that she, like because she's going to be done, like, what if she can't then drive and go get the boys? Like,
okay, but let me just say to you, I didn't know anything when I came here. So my husband Googles and says there was a shooting on Trescott Drive this morning at 11.
I got a call from my like real estate agent who heard something.
So I know that I didn't know why I was coming here, but anybody with more sense would have known that.
John told you that?
Yes.
When you told him you were coming here? Or?
No, they found John. Interestingly, they found John's cell phone number.
They found me eating lunch. I don't know how that happened. I'm fascinated still.
We have ways of finding
Yeah, it's interesting. So they called my husband's cell phone, and he was like, here she is. Talk to her. And they said, you needed me at the police department, so I came.
Right.
It was not a...
What did you think I needed you for?
I wasn't thinking it was good news, but I didn't, my thought was that Danny had probably assaulted you. That was my thought.
I think that was Lisa's thought when she's like, I heard there was a shot on Trescott, and so I hope you're okay.
So that...
The realtor?
Yeah.
So that was my, but this scenario, which is now not seeming real to me, didn't seem like that was not what I thought of.
I just keep picturing the kids.
Right. No. So there's no point in doing that. Don't do that. So
when Lynn gets here, I'm going to just ask her to take the kids to her house. Would that be
instead of my house?
I think that's much better.
Reasonable?
Is that better? She has a TV. They can watch TV.
I know, but they've been there before.
A bunch.
Yeah,
they're very comfortable there.
Do they have children of their own?
They've got 4 kids. They're grown, but
take them there.
Okay. Yeah.
Because
I'm going to go make sure that I don't miss her.
Okay.
Thank you.
Lynn Grossman, right?
Mm-hmm. This is Sarah, by the way.
Hi, Sarah. Are you a victim advocate?
I am.
I said you used to be a victim advocate. Was I
That's
right?
not true. Yeah, I've done lots of stuff like that.
I recognized your name, and then she explained.
What's your last name?
Latour. I've only been here about 2.5 years.
Latour, never heard of you. Yeah. I'm in the 25th year of my career. How's yours going? Coming up to your 2nd anniversary. Well, la-dee-da.
Years.
I am losing my shit.
Well, that would be appropriate. I think you should do that. I think if you don't do that, then that's
Jane,
not right.
Who would have done this?
I have just
And
one
are they
idea.
going to come after my kids? Or me? Who's next?
Is Jeff this much of a lunatic?
I don't even think of Jeff. I hope to God not.
I hope to God not. But yes, it's him. I hope to God not. Yeah, may I ask who Jeff is? Yes, of course. Very jealous. Jealous thug with military background.
Right.
Who would have done this? To be a victim advocate. Was I
That's
right?
not true. Yeah, I've done lots. Well, that would be appropriate. I think you should do that. I think if you don't do that, then that's
Jane,
not right.
Who would have done this?
I have just
And
one
are they
idea.
going to come?
I think you should do
She
that.
really takes control of the situation there, doesn't she?
I think if you don't do that, then that's
Jane,
not right.
who would have done this?
I have just
And
one
are they
idea.
going to come after my kids?
Just, it's such an obvious nudge, isn't it? It's like, Jane, cue. This is your cue, Jane. Remember our little walk in the park, Jane? Who could have... Jane, who could have done this? Come on, you know the answer. You know it. You know it, Jane. Who could have done this? J.
Or me? Who's next?
Is Jeff this much of a lunatic?
I don't even think of Jeff. I hope to God not.
May I ask who Jeff is?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
I think you should. I think Wendy's been seeing a guy called Jeff.
Who's a friend of Jane's. And
Who's
God, doesn't this sound like something that's going to be really good for the cops, right? Wendy's been seeing this guy called Jeff. Very jealous.
jealous.
yeah.
Are you still currently seeing him, or just something you kind of
Well,
let taper off?
it's been a bad week.
Okay.
Yeah, Jane and I actually went for a walk together Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yeah.
early this week.
Earlier this week.
Back to
You've
giggles.
taken a 1 week break from
I took
Jeff.
a 1 week break from communication with Jeff to figure out what to do.
Okay.
Because we've been dating for like 9 months, so like 10 months a year.
Guys, I think I missed a super chat somehow. I don't know who that was, and I can't scroll back. I was just trying to scroll back. Sorry, but whoever it was, thank you very much for the super chat or sticker.
And when you use the word dating to you, that's my boyfriend, or is it more of just dating, like the casual? Okay.
No, like, he was my boyfriend and involved with the kids, and I mean, yeah. And we had kind of a fight recently, and he's been trying to get back together, and I didn't know if I wanted to, and so he actually, the morning that I gave that talk, my boys were there and Jeff was watching them, so I could give the talk. Like, he's, Jane, do you think I have to tell them about him?
I think you
guess.
have to tell them about him because that is the only,
God forbid.
the only thing that I can imagine related to you, related to Danny. Would be
The only
Jeff.
thing I could come up with was, like, his girlfriend Amy is recently divorced, separated, not really divorced. Like,
Sure. So
what if-
either of those people.
like the jealous boyfriend types, like what if the ex-husband...
Right, totally. And you know that this divorce has been very stressful, and Jeff has been very stressed out by the stressfulness of your divorce.
Yeah, I'll say.
You know,
I mean, I'll tell
I'm
him
surprised he didn't go postal. Just walk into a bank and say, listen, this is a robbery. This is a raid. I've had enough and it's time to bite back. All the money in a bag. I'm going to Tennessee.
this, right? Like, can you tell them?
And when Investigator Isom comes back, you guys can just, say, and he'll ask all the questions that
See, now
investigators ask that I don't think.
now it's a personal conversation between Wendy and Jane, and every so often CEO Wendy will turn to Sarah with a command, right? With a task that needs to be completed. Could you just tell General Isom?
Boyfriend types, like what if the ex-husband...
Right, totally. And you know that this divorce has been very stressful, and Jeff has been very stressed out by the stressfulness of your divorce.
Yeah, Wendy saw to that.
I'll tell them this, right? Like, can you tell them?
And when Investigator Isom comes back, you guys can just, say, and he'll ask all the questions that investigators ask that I don't think of very often because I'm a victim advocate and I don't think of
Right,
things.
but I think you do have to tell about him.
Yeah, I wasn't
You weren't
not
thinking
telling
of
on
him.
purpose.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I wasn't thinking of it. I just kept thinking, like, who in the world...
Is he someone that has, access to...
He's a professor of social work.
Okay.
He's
All right.
former military.
Yeah.
But
he's
you
not-
don't think about this guy as like, oh, there's the kind of guy.
Right.
I would more just as like saying that maybe you did this.
Right.
It's just relationally, he's jealous.
Right.
Something is bad. I'm
Something is bad.
I'm
Yeah.
just assuming that this isn't true for the moment, but I guess that's not so.
And you have to look at it this way. Telling them this, if anything, will help them disqualify Jeff.
Right. And that's
Yeah.
important to do.
Yeah, of course. Do you want to give them his number?
I can give them.
They have
I
my
give them-
phone, so-
they certainly have a ton of stuff from him. So I googled Truscott shooting.
Thank you for being here. So, you Googled Truscott shooting, and what do you see?
Just that, police investigate shooting on Truscott Drive.
And it's on the news.
And unfortunately, the media here tends to get places, and they can't really stop them from being outside.
How often is there shooting in, like, northeast Tallahassee, right?
Truscott Drive?
Not so often. This is what I can't figure out. How did he get to the hospital? Like, did he call 911?
No, a neighbor, according to WCTV, here.
And this should be said, the police department won't release his name until they notify
the
family. And them being in Canada puts a little bit more of a wrench into our notification because it's a little bit more difficult to do internationally. But
we're in the process. And there's really, his injuries are really terrible.
The police got notified because a neighbor. Is it a picture of the house? Oh my God! You can see the car. You can't tell it's our house.
Well, yeah, right. You can't tell it's not your house. It certainly appears to be a house like your house.
Yeah.
That'll be because it is the house. It certainly appears to be a house like your house, because it is your house.
And they say the 2100 block of Truscott Drive. It must be still blocked off. I bet it's going to be blocked off for a while.
It's certainly a crime scene, obviously a crime scene.
But it's like a thorough. I mean, a lot of people use that as like a drive-through.
Now, this other people.
Yeah, a lot of people use that as a shortcut. Instead of, it's a shortcut. It's a magic shortcut. It's an extra 8 miles than going down Centerville. Yeah. She's throwing little bits in, isn't she? A lot of people use it. If the road's blocked off, then that's going to be a huge inconvenience to the good people of Tallahassee, who use it as a shortcut or cut through. Just like I did, innocently, this morning.
Obviously know about this. Danny did show up places today.
I don't know that he had anywhere to show up today. Did he? Like, did you know? Because, it's summertime, he works from home, right?
Right, but there are people that, imagine if any of us fall off the grid from 11 o'clock this morning, any colleagues...
that had a meeting or whatever.
Right, all of the stuff he does over phone.
Right. Well, he and I were supposed to talk about where Ben was going to school, and it was very unlike him.
Yeah, the public will be forced to do K-turns endlessly, whatever those are. I mean, K-turns, J-turns, L-turns, the whole alphabet.
That I was the one who had to call him. So, he called early this morning. I had a repair guy at the house, and he called early this morning, and I left a message, and then I called him back. I have the phone record. He called at 9, and he told me he went to Premiere. So he says, I don't know, I think he went straight from dropping off the boys to go to Premiere, and then he said, I'm going to do an exercise class that gets out at 10:15 or 10:30, and then we can talk after that. You remember how I had a voice thing? I hadn't talked to him. He was like, I know your voice is bad. Is today work? And he said we could go for a walk at the law school, or we could talk, and I have this message on my phone from him, which is why I said to the officer, there's no way he did this to himself. Zero chance that he shot himself. Danny.
I think there's zero chance that Danny would kill himself.
Yes, zero chance. Someone did this to him. So he had plans that we would he said this at 9, we'll take a walk, we'll figure this out, we'll talk about school. And then I called him at 11:45 or so and left a message. And that was, I thought weird, but I thought whatever,
and you probably thought, oh good, I don't have to talk to him. But
I was really anxious.
Oh my God. Okay. The Jane McPherson laugh, ladies and gentlemen. Did you hear that? Every time Jane laughs, somewhere a child dies.
45 or so and left a message, and that was, I thought weird, but I thought whatever,
and you probably thought, oh good, I don't have to talk to him. But
I was really anxious about speaking.
God.
How unfortunate for that woman, huh? And anyone that she lives with or works with. I mean, you think it's almost over, and then it goes up.
Him and having this be a contentious issue about where our kid is going to go to school.
Oh my God.
And I didn't hear from him, and I didn't think too much of it. I just thought, like, well, he'll just call me later. And then at around noon, I had lunch plans at 1, and I was supposed to go to a friend's engagement party tonight, and it's called a Stack the Bar engagement. So I went to go find bourbon. So
Stack the bar now. Yeah. In the beginning she said it was stock the shelf. Now it's stack the bar. This is all what? To make her look like a non-drinker that doesn't know any terminology around booze. Nothing. Stack the cabinet. Stock the stick on the sticking coop.
I went to drive to ABC Liquors, and I went to go through Trescott, and it was blocked off. So I went around, and then I looked for bourbon, and then I got gas. That's why I was trying to show the officer, like, I have receipts from all these things, but I don't know if it matters if they're at noon. I mean, obviously, like, I would be one of the people that they would think did it.
Well, you have certainly the most contentious relationship with Danny that anyone has.
Yeah.
Hey, shut up, Jane. Don't mention that. Listen, I've been in here for 2 hours saying we got along fine for the sake of the kids. I found him uncomfortable to be around, but in an ivory tower kind of way. Don't come in here and say that we've had one of the most contentious divorces that there was in history. I mean, that's not the line, Jane. Jeff. We're focusing on Jeff now. That's your role. Do your role. Hey, thank you so much, Riding Shotgun, for gifting 10 fabulous True Crime Metrics memberships. And welcome to the crew, Debbie Martin, Coffee, Miriam, Komugi, Donna Barkley, Jenny B, The Blaylock, JP, Brass, excuse me, Brass Tacks, Lisbeth PCB, and Kim Brent. Welcome, Kim Brent. Thank you, Riding Shotgun, for gifting those 10 memberships. Very, very nice.
You know, but
They swabbed my hands.
well, fair enough.
Gunpowder.
They should. I mean,
They asked
they
me if
should.
I'd washed my hands since noon, and I was embarrassed to say I hadn't. I don't remember when I last washed my hands.
Oh God. Yeah, no, I think Jeff is somebody that they should.
Okay.
And I don't know of anyone else.
They were asking, like, does he have gambling debt? Does he have? And I'm like, the only person he owes money to is me. Like, there's no one. He's like, he's a straight shooter, right? Like, he's not an alcoholic. He's not a gambler. He doesn't have a sex addiction. He doesn't, like, he doesn't have any, like, weird stuff going on in his life.
No, he's a difficult guy, but he's.
Yeah, he's not an alcoholic or a sex addict, is he, Wendy? Interesting that you would use those derogations. You know, who do we know that's an alcoholic and a sex addict? Wendy. I don't know if she's a gambler. Well, maybe not in the casino sense, the blackjack sense, but in terms of gambling your fate and destiny. This was a bit of a gamble, wasn't it? You know, commit a murder knowing full well that you'll be the first one brought in for questioning by police. In the midst of a bitter custody battle, legal dispute, bar card threatened, grandma motion, you took half the stuff and you're in here. And the only reason that, I mean, you really got lucky with Uncle Ison and little sister Sarah, didn't you? That was a gamble, right? The other side of the gamble could have been Pat Sanford. I mean, no, because he's FBI, but, you know, a cop like that, a Tallahassee cop like that, local cop, local detective. That was a gamble. So when she said, oh, he's a straight shooter. That's another thing that she's not, right? Definitely not a straight shooter about anything. But a gambler. So I suppose she is a gambler. You know, just not in slot machines. A. Hamilton says, True Crime Matrix, you're on fire tonight. I don't think so. I'm half asleep, man. I'm way off the mark tonight. I was thinking about ending early and just coming back when I'm rested. I've been up for 25 hours already now. So forgive me for being a little slow today, people. It's just been a lot going on here. But that's okay. We'll get some rest and we'll be back on solid metrics form tomorrow with the bulletproof metrics moderators and all of the fantastic people in chat. Hey, if anyone wants to support the channel on this very quiet live, where I really don't feel I'm doing much, sorry. But you can on buymeacoffee.com/True Crime Metrics, link in the description, along with a bunch of other links that are all very, very nice to check out. Social networks, Discord, merchandise in the merch store, Patreon memberships, and so on. But the best way to support the channel, buymeacoffee.com/True Crime Metrics. Thank you so much, guys. Love you. Good night.
That's what he was saying. He's like, is there anyone that hates him? And I'm like, he's difficult, but he's difficult in like an ivory tower kind of way.
He's not liked, but he is not.
He's not liked, but he's not hated.
Certainly not. And he has people who...
Fucking hell. Jane is so just one of these people that is there to be manipulated, taken control over. You take someone like Jane and someone like Wendi, and you're bang in trouble. You're bang in trouble.
How do his students feel? Like, is he, like, are law students receptive to him? Like, oh, this is a great...
I think there's some that really like his method, and there are a lot who don't like him at all.
So you say he's more disliked?
He's a very abrasive guy.
Does he challenge you, kind of? Would that be a good...
He's challenging. He loves to argue, so he's fairly elitist. So like the students,
very elitist. Oh my
students
goodness.
felt like put down by him a lot,
Okay.
and so they feel like insecure. But again, we're not talking about like hateful and awful. We're talking about like difficult,
Right.
you know.
Right. And he has colleagues who really don't like him.
But not enough to.
But this is a different, right, it's a
Like,
different, right.
They don't like him, they don't want to go to lunch with him. Right.
Yeah, no.
He doesn't make friends easily, but it's not like he makes a ton of
And he has a lot of...
She laughs like some weird monkey that only lives in the Amazon, you know? Like, that the shamans go and shoot with a poisoned dart, and this is its final cry before it falls from the tree. Wah!
He has very close connections at the temple.
That's what I said.
I mean,
he's got Jewish community and like.
He is important in the Jewish community.
Yeah, not anymore.
And he is loved, and he is
And there
a serious
are 2
academic.
Jewish temples in Tallahassee, or just one?
It's kind of complicated. There's
There's 3
Temple
at
Israel,
least.
which is the Reform Synagogue. There's Shomer Torah, which is the conservative one that he belonged to.
Okay.
And then there's Chabad, which is sort of like, it's not really clear. It's kind of like a proselytizing thing. And he...
There's that old speaking in the past tense thing, right, that he belonged to. I think a genuine, someone who hasn't been anticipating his death, probably for a full year, and more, it takes a little more time to adapt to the tense shift, right? It would have made more sense to say he belongs to.
he like would donate money there and bring the kids to events there and spend time there. So he was sort of affiliated with two of them and bring the kids to stuff at Temple Israel too.
I mean, he's very, very connected across the Jewish community.
Yeah, he's very involved.
He's also very like he had a major Jewish education, so he's extremely knowledgeable about Judaism, and he cares deeply about how people interpret scripture and law and rule and practice, and he's involved in all those sort of debates at the community level, and he's very it would be hard to overestimate how involved he has been in the Jewish community. He has a lot of connections.
And it was kind of one of the reasons why we got divorced, is I just, like, I'm Reform, I'm kind of culturally Jewish, like, we just had really different religious perspectives. In the middle of a fucking nightmare.
I didn't want you to be married to him, but this was the method.
Well, that's what I said to the officer. I was like, we had a rough time, but
this has been a terrible
he's
time.
The father of my children.
Right.
And things were entering a new phase where he has this girlfriend and he's out of town a lot, and that was nice. That's why I know there's just, I mean, given his personality and everything, there's no way that he did this.
No, he didn't.
He had plans to be out of town. He was leaving on Saturday.
And he was delighted with Amy, and he's been delighted with this.
Yeah.
And delighted with the boys, and delighted with.
No,
he
didn't do this. So somebody did.
He was angry and upset about the divorce. Really, really angry at Wendi. Really, really angry. But really pleased with how things were going to go
It's
forward.
been 2 years, and things for him were a lot better.
Do you mind if I get Mr. Icing to kind of tell him about Jeff?
I think you should do that.
Let me go back.
I can't believe you brought your own drink here.
Well, I wasn't sure how long I would be here. I was thirsty. I had just arrived home to pour, say, a glass of wine when they called and said, "Don't you want to go to the police department?" I said, "Jane, no, not really."
You believe you didn't do this, right?
I assume you didn't do this, but,
I wish I had I was home working on a paper that's due.
Well, you'll
I
have...
sent it in, I sent edits to
You'll
someone.
have...
I hope they have the time off.
Of course they will. All of that is evident. You will, you don't...
I understand why they think it would be me. But
Of course it would be you. But it's not you. Jeff would be my vote. No. Again, just going by, likely... I agree with you.
He can't be an accident.
He didn't do this. Jeff, I interject into it, but I don't think Danny said...
Somebody shot Danny.
To death. Holy shit.
I didn't even know that he was still living. Sarah told me that, and then I started freaking out and was like, I want to get the boys over there. Is he scary looking? Because I want, if he's not going to make it, but he's okay. Or he's not, I wanted the boys to be able to be with him.
Shouldn't somebody be with him?
I know, that's what I said. I was like, he's there and he's all alone. I was like, is he with...
Shouldn't somebody who loves him?
Yes. Should I go? Someone needs to go there.
I know.
He's by himself.
Really? He's by himself?
I don't think they haven't called the family yet. They haven't called his parents. They were like, what are his parents' names? They're asking me.
How about the rabbi?
Oh, that's a really good idea.
How about the rabbi?
Can you ask them?
Yeah, we'll do that right now.
So there's no rabbi at Shomri, but Rabbi Schnoyer Oyerman, that's really his name. Him or Jack Romberg.
They need to go.
Yeah, that's
really his name. Let's all make fun of the rabbi now for having a traditional name. Schnoyer Eurichman. Oh. She's so hyper now, right? Now that we've moved forward with the plan, we've got the Jeff narrative out. Fucking Sarah Latour's gone to tell Isom, hey, we need to look into this guy. we're going to put every man that we have, and we're not coming back before we get this guy and string him up in a tree because he killed Professor Markel.
Really good idea. Yes. Especially if he's not going to make it, so that they can...
to be blessed.
If they can...
He needs a blessing.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much for being here. I was sitting in this room by myself, losing my mind. I was at lunch with Janine and Ritu, I don't know if you know them, friends of mine, and these officers walk in, and we just finished, I ate a lunch, like I had a whole delicious lunch.
Whole delicious
like,
lunch.
Are you Wendi? We need to speak with you. And I was like, oh my god, are the boys okay? Like, and they were like, the boys are fine. And then I thought, oh my god, like, what's that?
So they told her the boys were fine at the restaurant. Okay, someone did bring that up in comments. And, you know how we always say that she didn't ask about the boys at the beginning of the interview? When General Isom says there was a shooting at your home, your ex-husband's home, on Trescott, and she doesn't go, where are the boys? You know, okay, so she has already been informed that the boys are okay. So, do we let her off that one? I mean, maybe half. I think she'd still be like, listen, I want to see them now. I'm their mother. Take me to them right now. Well, I'm not speaking another word to you until I see my kids.
Like, who's fighting me here? And they wouldn't tell me. And so he said, I need you to get in the car. And so he drove me, and I started, I just was like, what's going on? And they're like, your husband. And I said, ex-husband. And they're like, ex-husband? So they didn't have the, like...
Well, I mean, how do they know? They're just starting this.
So they thought we were still married, and so I was telling him everything, you know, and then I was thinking, oh my god, now they probably think I'm a suspect. I should...
But of course you're a suspect, and you're a smart suspect. You should be the suspect. But, you know, I mean, you're not gonna get framed for a crime.
Right.
You know, and it is in your absolute interest to, in every way,
tell them
everything, because to the extent that if they don't know whoever did, if this goes unsolved, that's the worst thing for your boys.
So many things, Jane. Like, do you think whoever did this is going to come after the kids?
I'm very worried about that. And I think...
I don't want to be, like, left alone in that house. Like, I want protection. I'm scared. I don't know who this is. I don't...
Okay. Well, I mean, you should maybe go and stay... I think you should go stay... Can you go to Lynn and David's?
Ellen, yeah. Yeah.
You should.
Have lots of bedrooms. I could just...
You should. I mean, the boys are there.
Yeah.
And...
I need to pick up a few things. Like, I would need my contact lens case.
Just go there. I mean...
I'm really glad you're here. I am losing my shit.
I wish they'd come back.
This is... They keep doing this where, like, they leave for long periods of time, and it's 5:30 already?
Mm-hmm.
I've been here for a while. I didn't know if, like... I don't know. Are you looking to see if there's more info
No,
online?
I have not. This from Danny. I have from Kara. So I called her...
I talked to Kara yesterday. I was taking a walk around 5. I met a new friend last night, a friend of a friend, this girl Malia. We went to Tallahassee food trucks last night, hung out with her for hours. Are you telling her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she also Googled and said, oh my God, there was a shooting, do you know? So both she and John, you know.
Why would they Google... Why would that just come up?
I mean, I said to both of them, I'm going to the department. They're the people I said, I'm going to. I mean, John was there when I got John got the call from the police officer. So then I'm in the car. I'm like, I'm calling Kara.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm on my way to the police office.
Well, I would have called you and Kara, but Kara's in Portland.
Right.
I'm really glad you're here.
So I just
came.
Kara's in Portland. No, I would have called you and Kara. Kara's in Portland, so it had to be you, and you've been prepped. We didn't have time to prep Kara and tell her about jealous Jeff.
No worries. And I'm just saying to her that Dan's been shot and it's serious. Because until I know, I can't quite take it, and that's the.
Do you think you could, like, you're allowed to leave the room? Can you?
Oh, here they're coming.
Hey, I just wanted to let you know that Lynn just came.
Oh, good.
Just got the car seats in, and she's headed out.
So we have a little concern.
Okay.
Would it be possible for a rabbi to be sent to the hospital?
Okay.
So Danny's very religious.
Okay.
I don't know if he's even alive, but
Okay.
We're just really struggling with the idea that he's there alone,
Okay.
and he's very religious.
Okay.
extremely.
And I'm sorry to think of this earlier, but I can give you the names of the two
Extremely.
rabbis in town, and I think
Extremely
they should be
religious.
called.
He's an extremist.
At least he's not.
He's-
because his
he's a
family is
zealot.
Like, nobody's there with
Okay.
him.
Yeah.
If Sarah can.
Extremely religious. Yeah, he's religious to the extreme. Yeah, he's so extreme. He wants to start. Well, yeah, we don't even need to go there.
Can you write down these names?
Because
and
I think
numbers?
if they could go,
Okay.
whatever's happening.
Oh, look, we have to go back to Trauma Face now. We've got Sergeant Baldwin, Sarah Latour, eyes on, back to what is going on?
Whatever state he's in, some kind of blessing
I
is
understand.
required.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't have any phone numbers,
Okay.
but
Apparently, and forgive me if I'm incorrect, but I do remember hearing this from someone who would and should know, that that's not a thing in the Jewish faith. You know, like in Catholicism where the priest will perform the last rites. There's not a Jewish equivalent of that, apparently. That is second-hand knowledge. I'm not Jewish. I wouldn't know, but I have heard that from a member of the Jewish faith. So, yeah, all this stuff about we need a rabbi there to go and do a blessing. I don't think that's a thing.
Jack Romberg is the name of
Romberg?
yeah.
Okay.
Is the name of one of the rabbis. The other rabbi has a name that's going to take you a while to spell. His name
Sometimes those are the easy ones because I find one and that's the only one there
his
is.
name is Schnoyer Oerman.
Common spelling on it?
That's really his name.
Oh my god. You see, Wendi did that. Wendi made that happen. She influenced the entire room to go into hysterics about this guy's fucking name.
But his last name is Oirechman. Oirechman. His first name is Schnoyer. Schnoyer.
I'm just Googling Rabbi Tallahassee. And
I'll see what I can find. If you'll tear that out for me, and I'll see what I can find.
Thank you.
But Lynn is here. The car seats are in. I've spoken to the preschool. I changed the name. They were fine with that.
Preschool knows that.
Lynn is coming.
Okay.
Yes, I've spoken with them after you spoke with them and told them she was coming. They were fine.
Okay. Do they?
Hey, I've got to read out Tay's comment from today because it was great. Hello, Tay. So, on the last stream, I was asking what the point of the TV repair appointment was. You know, if she just needed an alibi, that's a bad one to have because it's not a fixed time. He arrives between 8 and 12. You know, if you need an alibi, why not just go into the office or, you know, meet a friend or whatever. And Tay had this great comment, which I'm totally happy with, which says, the TV alibi was created to justify the triangulation of phone calls between Wendi, Donna, and Charlie prior to the murder. Wendi knew the flurry of calls would show up on the phone bill, so she created an alibi to show police reason for calls in the event they subpoenaed the phone bills. Great. You know. And Wendi made a fuck up on that because she said, I don't know if it was in, I was thinking it was in the last video. She said, the TV repair guy said it couldn't be fixed. And then I phoned Charlie to ask if I should get it fixed or get a new one. Right? What sense does that make? It doesn't make any sense at all. He's just told you it can't be fixed. Then you phone Charlie to ask whether you should get it fixed or buy a new one. Thank you, Victoria Girl, for the super chat. Thanks for staying up for us. No problem at all. Pleasure. Pleasure's all mine.
You know what's going on?
I don't know. The investigator, made contact, so I don't know what all they know.
Okay.
But we spoke with Lynn and said
she's going to take him to the house.
Yep, and said,
know what's going on.
We explained to her he is severely injured. He may, probably will not make it, but
he knows not to. They don't tell the
correct.
So they're just going to pick him up, say, Mommy's in a meeting, Mommy's busy.
Time for McDonald's, Auntie Lynn's picking you up,
Okay.
and then I have her, cell phone number, because I knew you didn't have your phone right then. We'll get that back to you here shortly, hopefully.
Okay.
And I told her that you would call her and probably go straight to the house, whether it's us taking you there, Jane taking you there, whatever, however you need to get there.
Stay here?
I don't think so.
Did I gave them my keys,
Yep,
right?
they have the keys because I got the
my
car
house
seats
key.
out.
Okay.
But yeah, all that should be done. Unfortunately, just everything's time consuming. So that's, kind of all we're waiting on.
Okay.
Let me see what.
That's exactly my point, Tay. Tay says, why would Wendi need to ask Charlie whether a TV should be fixed? The repairman would have given out that info prior to her calling Charlie. Exactly. Which tells us that she was calling Charlie about something else, but that this whole TV situation, if there's no TV and there's a murder and there's calls, it's like, hang on, why are you calling Donna and calling Charlie on the day of the murder? That's an irregular. That's irregular. So we're looking into it. But now they can just say, well, my mom set up the appointment because she paid the warranty or whatever, and then I asked Charlie because he got me the TV as my divorce present. So when we take an element like that and think back to the initial stages of planning, the Adelsons must have sat down together and said, right, listen, we need to be in communication. This is too big. We've got too much on the line here. It's not just the money, but, we're playing with our lives. I mean, they must have realized that, right? There's always a chance. So they were like, okay, so we can't just call each other, even on WhatsApp, because we don't trust this fucking end-to-end encryption. You think the FBI can't do something about that? They've got stuff they can do about that. So we need a reason. What is the reason going to be that we're going to be calling? How about you break the TV, Wendi, we'll get it on the warranty, and then when you do need to call us, you can pretend that it's to deal with that appointment. So thanks for laying that out for us today, Tay, because I'm sold.
But I can.
Good. We need that. I mean, that's just urgent.
Okay,
That's
absolutely.
Just really
and
urgent.
it's Jack Romberg and.
No, Kiwi Vanderman. Jane's not in on it. She's just a moron. Complete moron.
Rabbi.
You can call him like
Rabbi whatever.
Or Rickman. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do.
Thank you for thinking.
tell Mr. Iceland that you want to talk to him again.
Yeah.
And is there a bathroom that I can use?
Yes.
I had a similar urgency need. Making me swipe my hands before they let me use the bathroom. I you know.
Okay, go to your left. And then kind of in that.
Ah, it was Victoria Girl before as well, riding shotgun. Well, thank you again, Victoria Girl.
I'm sorry. Do you mind if I sit in this chair?
Oh, please do.
Jane, I'm sorry. I don't know that his family knows yet. Did they?
Jane, you should be asking Wendi if you can sit in the chair. I think she likes it better when you're kneeling at her feet, like the slave you are, right? You haven't asked permission to CEO Wendi.
We're working on that. What we do usually as a law enforcement agency, we don't like to tell people that over the phone if we can try to avoid it, just because it's kind of shocking news. And we usually
So can you tell
what we're
law
trying-
enforcement there to go to the house?
Correct. That's what we're trying to do now.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah, because we don't know, especially people's conditions and how they're going to react. So if someone gets so upset that they have a heart attack or something, we want, not
It's
just
better.
be on the phone.
It's better to have a human.
Mm-hmm.
But they're working on that now.
Yes.
So it's an actual fact that he's not going to survive his injuries.
That's what General Isom.
Yes, Mr. Isom. Yeah, that's what he.
He's not a general.
Yeah.
Whatever. I call him Rapture sometimes. So it's okay.
And there it is, guys. People still come into the chat sometimes, or the comments on videos, and they say, General Isom? And then 6 question marks. Like, this is it. This is it. And it's stuck. And we all love it. And I've seen it done on other channels. But it all started here with True Crime Metrics.
Okay.
That's what General.
That they have a heart attack or something. We want, not just be on the phone.
It's better to have a human.
Mm-hmm.
But they're working on that now.
Yes.
So it's an actual fact that he's not going to survive his injuries.
That's what General Isom.
Yes, Mr. Isom. Yeah, that's what he.
He's not a general.
Yeah.
Whatever. I call him Rapture sometimes. So it's okay.
You see, Sarah's getting tired of this act, right? She's starting to sense that this isn't, she's a victim advocate. She works, despite her pretty junior time on the job. She works with victims. That's her full role, right? Feeling where they're at, observing their behavior, checking they're okay. And if that's your role, and all of a sudden you start to feel completely superfluous, maybe it's because you're not dealing with a victim. Yeah? I think Sarah's starting to have enough of these little giggle fits that are going on. Oh, he's not a general. Wait until you hear the rabbi's name. That rabbi, it's going to take you a long time to spell because he's got a stupid traditional name. Is that what a victim would be doing? You think Sarah Latour has ever seen a single victim behave like this? I don't. And people say, oh, metrics. People deal with grief in different ways. And that may be so. But not like this. This is how a sadistic, psychopathic, narcissistic killer behaves when the plan is starting to go their way. Right? That's where it fits. Puzzle pieces. Look at this face here. I mean, just look at this face. Sickening.
I was just like in the car with it. I'm like, what is your name? What do I do? I saw that one from Kara. If you need to call her, you can. You're not being held hostage here. Just tell her.
So what we're in the process right now, and to do that, generally we have to send a telegraph that we send to the other agency, kind of give you the information.
Right.
I'm going to make it's very old school as we started moving here.
I know that it's not like, well, I don't know what's happening right now, but like as a little bit ago, it wasn't definitive. Do they want to wait until it's definitive, or do they want him to like?
They want to get in contact with them because I think some decisions need to be made, and because they're his parents, they would be his next of kin. Yeah.
So he's still alive, but he's maybe on life support or something.
I don't know the medical terms around it, but it's from what Investor Eisen was telling her, it does not look.
He was shot in the head.
From what was Investor Eisen?
I said that, and he didn't answer it.
So it's just he was very badly
shot
multiple times, maybe badly.
When I think he did say that there was trauma to his face. And that's
I
when
was
you were
saying
asking about showing the boy.
I wanted the kids
Yes,
to be with him, but not if he looks scary.
And not if he's, I mean, there's nothing to be.
I know, I just thought he might be like,
No, I know.
I got the feeling he might be a little bit alive.
Right.
And if he was a little bit alive, I wanted him to like touch
be
the
able to
kids
see
one
the
more
children,
time.
right? But he's apparently beyond that. Like he probably hasn't regained
From what Investor Eisen
consciousness.
said, correct, yes.
He's
from
been,
what he was saying, I wouldn't
he was
take
found
it.
in a really dreadful state, and he has not come out of any kind of. He ended that phase. Oh, Wendy, good Lord. Have you called your parents, darling?
No, after we're just
Didn't she call her parents?
They have
I don't see. They have her phone.
But
Yeah,
I,
but I know
know
their
their number.
I do know my family's number.
I don't
Know the answer?
I don't know that. I don't want to say yes. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm
but
gonna go to the bathroom and come back.
Yeah.
Do you need to, my assistant?
I'm out of my depth now. I can see that you're running things and don't need me, but I also can't speak for General Eisen. Just walking all over her now. It's like, yeah, I do know my family's number, you idiot. Should we have a little look at the map, guys? Let's have a little look at the map. Which is a good one, let's see. So this is a good one. Let's save that. Wendy's roots. Ah, shit. So there's Aqua Ridge Way, 3303 Aqua Ridge Way, up on the right there. So she was only going to buy alcohol, and apparently ABC Liquors, at the time at least, was a very not that nice liquor store. Much better to go to Publix Liquors or Market Square Liquors, which is right next to the restaurant where she's having lunch, right? And then even if you're going to accept that you must go to ABC Wine and Spirits, why get to Trescott down at the yellow flag at the bottom and turn down Trescott to Thomasville, and then south on Thomasville where you're going to have to go back north to Mosaic? Surely you just go all the way down Centerville, across west to ABC, and then up north to Mosaic. But obviously she would have gone to Publix or Market Square.
Expect you need to watch me.
No, I don't need to watch you.
Okay, I'll be back.
What I'll do too is I'll just check and see if you can call your
Yeah.
parents. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't see any issue with it.
I just think they're gonna want to come up.
Well, and you're going to want them here, honey.
Yeah.
So they
I want
need to.
them-
They need to get in the car right now, and they need to come up.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what needs to happen. Because they can stay with you at your house,
And they can
we
help me with the
can we
boys.
just try to figure out if you're safe to be in the house.
Yeah.
Hey, it's me. So I'm just updating you. Danny is expected to die. Good job. Don't tell anybody else, just keep it to yourself. I know that you're... Yeah, no, he's... Right, no, he's... Wendi, of course, I mean, they've been interviewing her as a suspect, and I have suggested Jeff Lacasse. That's my congregation. I've also suggested that we get a rabbi over there. Because he's alone, he doesn't have family here. This is really terrible. This is really terrible. There's nothing you can do that I can think of. Wendy's got, I mean, they brought me here to get the kids, but I thought, God, the poor children, they won't know me, and actually it's probably better that I'm, here with Wendi. I'm sitting here with the victim advocate, and now the investigator, and I'm going to get off the phone. I will. All right, I don't.
Okay, I appreciate you coming up here.
I'll get out of your way.
It's time to go.
Okay.
We got some more stuff we have to take care
yeah.
of. But I really appreciate you coming up here and talking to her.
And I suggested to you that you look at Jeff Lacasse.
That's
Oh,
what Sarah
here we
was
go.
saying. I'm not sure who that guy is,
Well,
but
she'll tell you about it. And
is she going to tell me everything?
I imagine she will. I mean, she's been Danny's a jealous guy, Jeff is a jealous
Okay.
guy.
All right.
But that as a social worker, that, I would be.
Well, let me ask you this. If Jeff is the new guy, why would he do it?
Just because he's. This is something I wouldn't say in front of Wendi.
Okay.
I thought you said something I wouldn't say. I'm like, I'm right here.
As doing the kind of work I do, I would think, there's this person, and then he loves Wendi. Danny makes Wendy's life very difficult. Wendi is currently making his life very difficult. I don't know him to be a lunatic, but he's a jealous guy.
Okay. All right.
That's what I would say. He's my colleague, so he's somebody I think of as a decent guy.
That would be who now?
Jeff Lacasse is my colleague.
Okay. All right.
Are you leaving?
Yes, I'm being kicked out.
Oh. Really?
Really. But I can come get you if you need me.
Okay.
Okay? So if you can't drive, it's no problem.
What's your number, Jane, so I can give you a call?
321-4657. I'm happy to come get you. You need to talk to these guys.
Can you make sure someone goes to see Danny? I guess they're going to do
you're
that.
Gonna
That's
do
not
that,
your
right?
job.
You're going to make sure that there's
I know Sergeant Baldwin, when I was out there, I've been talking to her when you
it's
were
really
there,
critical
they were working on
that, that he be blessed today.
Oh,
It's absolutely
okay.
critical
Gotcha.
that he see that a rabbi go there. Absolutely
Okay.
critical.
All right.
All
Okay,
right, honey.
bye. Thank you for coming.
Okay. I am available to you. I'm going now, but you
Yeah.
this is a process, and you're going to move through it. Thank
Okay.
you. I'm glad. Thanks very much. And these guys were very generous to let me come in here at all. So thanks very much for
You're
that.
welcome. I'll be back.
Really making her go.
I think he'll just ask you some more questions, and they just need to, they don't. And sometimes, friends and family try to help, but sometimes they can
No, it's good that she
tell
called
their
it down.
side, and that was good. Sorry, it's so cold in here, and I was irresponsible to offer you a jacket.
I'm
sooner.
not sure if it's cold in here. I was shaking from the moment the officers came into the restaurant and were not
Right, that's
telling
not a
me what
normal
was going
situation.
on, and so I didn't know what it was. I knew it wasn't good, and so I feel like my body started shaking a few hours ago. I don't know if I'm actually cold, but thank you for the jacket.
Well, it's generally, I don't have goosebumps yet, but usually I get goosebumps in this room, so it might be warmer than normal, but I think nerves. And then they said that they should be done with your phone very soon, too, and then that's when...
Will they just can I get an update from, I just want to make sure the kids are not freaking out. I don't know what Lynn told them, and I trust her very much, but, is there any way to just get an update on my kids to make sure I know they're okay, they're in good hands, but I don't know. I mean, just to make sure, they're not being told,
Too much information at once.
yeah, or just, where's Mommy? I would like them to say, Mommy's at a work meeting or something,
Right, okay.
just something that the kids would understand, sometimes Mommy's at work, so they get the idea of,
Okay.
I mean, they would wonder, why is Mommy at work at this hour, but something.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 and 3-year-old kids always wonder about time, don't they? They go, hey, 5:30? Where is she? We've covered that before. I don't want to get repetitive. But it's just this. They would wonder why Mummy is working so late at this hour. They would have been checking their Rolex watch at 2 and 3 years old and saying, "Where is that woman? Where is that woman who calls herself our mother?"
Let me check on that, okay?
I'm not trying to create more work for you.
You're not creating more. This is kind of what I'm
Yeah.
doing right now. Exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're trying to do. You've sensed that Sarah's a little bit uncomfortable with your output, and you're wanting to get her to get away from you, so she doesn't pry. I'm not trying to give you more work to do, because me and my family, when we lie, we say the thing that we're trying to do as a lie, right? She is trying to give her more work, and she says, "No, I'm not trying to give you more work to do, but secretly I am, right? Secretly I so am."
Here for, okay?
Yeah.
think we are going to wrap this up in 10 minutes, guys. I think that'll leave a nice chunk for part 3, final part 3. Yeah, we might as well just keep it around 2.5 hours. That sounds like a good idea. That sounds like a fine idea to me. Bit of a strange stream tonight, though. But I haven't had much sleep, so sorry if it's a little quiet. Or maybe some people like that. Some people hate the commentary. Little shutdown on the body language there. Take the opportunity to have a nice big jacket to hide in. Hey, I heard Harley D's here. How you doing, Harley? Listen, I've been thinking about yours and Judy's video all day. I've found some really nice stuff to go along with the theory. I think you've brought me over to your side of thinking here. You know, that thing about the technical aspects. And I'm not going to say too much now. So for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, there's a video coming where we're going to be looking at that thing that I don't want to talk about now because we're wrapping up. But I just wanted to say thanks for bringing it to us, Harley. I enjoyed the video. Everyone check out Harley's interview with Judy on AA Legal Focus. I think it was about 4 months ago. Very good, very good. Whoops. You know what we might do? I've been wanting to get the video of Jeff Lacasse, get all the bits where he's just sitting in a room on his own thinking. And what if we do that, and then a split screen, and on the other side is Wendi sitting in a room thinking? I think that'd be a great piece of art. Right, now I've put the idea out. No one robbed the idea. That is a Metrics idea. On this day, the 18th of March 2025, we'll do that first thing in the morning. That's going to be great. I like that. Oh. Thank you so much, Victoria Girl. Again, sleep muds for fun. Very nice.
Sitting in this room by myself right now is like a form of torture.
I'm sorry. I know. I keep leaving you.
Is it a form of torture? Is it like getting shot in the face twice? Yeah. And then suffering for 15 hours? Is it a form of torture? No, you're sitting in a room.
Joanna, who's been in and out of here, the female, she is, just to get some back, she's our special victim investigator, which means she does all the child and sexual assault and those types of crimes. Yeah. And
Hi,
she
Laura.
spoke to Lynn, and Lynn's very well aware that,
Lynn also has an MSW.
Everyone does, it seems like sometimes. So
Kiwi Vanderman, don't even joke about that. We'll be reported.
very aware that they don't know, what's going on, not to disclose anything,
Yeah.
overly.
But Lynn knows.
I don't know what Joanna's. Lynn knows something's up and something's wrong, and I'm sure Lynn and like everyone else seems to do nowadays probably Googled or looked at the news,
Yeah.
So, and I think she does know it involves obviously being.
Because I'm here and I seem to be okay.
And then also they did get in touch
With the rabbi?
with one of the rabbis, yes.
Is
So
there one over there?
I believe so, yes.
Great.
And then if nothing else, even the hospital usually has.
Hi.
That's his cell phone number.
Okay.
I spoke with him, and he's going up there.
Good.
I spoke with the hospital.
Hey, thanks. Oh, shit, where'd it go? Damn.
And they have already had somebody come by. They have already had a rabbi come by.
Really?
Because they have
I wonder who they
chaplains.
have.
They have chaplains of all different denominations.
Like just on call.
Mhm.
There's not a lot of Jews in town.
I don't know. But he is going,
Thank God.
and that's his cell phone.
Okay.
I told him you would probably touch base and reach out to him
Honestly,
whenever. No. Okay.
I don't
Thanks so much, Jessie Cat, for the super sticker. Thank you, Jessie Cat.
really have a great relationship with him.
Okay.
So he's not really who I want to talk to right
That's
now.
fine.
I just want to make sure he's
The
giving
other
Danny
rabbi
what
that
he
you gave
needs.
me is out of town.
I don't have a great relationship with him. What does that mean? That Danny might have told him about all the shit that you were doing, and he might look at you with suspicion? Is that what that means, Wendi? I think that might be what it means, right?
I have a great relationship with him.
Okay. Yeah, he's on his voicemail. It said he's
We know what that means too, don't we, Wendi?
out of town
I saw
till
on Facebook. He's with his grandkids.
yeah, so would be in and out. He was like, "Is there anybody else in the community I need to reach out to?" I said, "As of right now,
Ooh.
So
I think I have his number to give to his parents in case they.
Yeah, have
Thanks,
them. They would probably want to talk to the rabbi. So,
Thanks so much, Pinto Peabody, for the fabulous last call coffees. Yeah, just in the nick of time. Thank you, Sally.
I'm really glad he's going over there. I can't talk to him right now.
okay, and that's fine." And he asked about you and asked if there was anything you needed, and okay, so. And I said, "Well, I may have her, if she wants to reach out." And he's like, "Absolutely, anything, that's needed." So,
Thank you.
No problem. And don't worry, Lynn, we spoke. She knows the children don't know what's going on.
And she knows.
She knows that he was seriously injured. and that
Did she seem okay? Like, is she with
Yeah.
Alan? Are they
no,
together?
I talked with Alan.
Uh-huh.
She was out when I got him.
Okay.
Apparently, he just does not answer his cell phone. He's like, "Let me give you my cell phone." I was like, "I've called it twice." So she was out somewhere. She wasn't at home when I got a hold of him.
Okay.
So he said, "Let me call her. I'll have her come." So she came by herself, but she had talked to him. She was fine, cool as a cucumber.
Okay.
She's, and just for time's sake, I knew Jane was up here with you. I was going to bring her up, but just it was
No,
at
it's
5:30 getting her out to get the kids,
Yeah,
and she
yeah.
knows the kids don't know anything, and it was going to be, mom's running late, Aunt Lynn, it's McDonald's time, whatever the
Okay.
case may be.
That sounds great.
All right.
Thank you.
No problem. I'm sorry my face is so red. I told her I was laughing because my rear end's sticking up, bending over, getting the seats. I was like, oh, I'm sure 7th
Oh my
Avenue is
God.
loving
Did you
this.
see all the Cheerios that are in that car?
We did. At
I
least
I know
can be all
it's
up
there.
and down.
I meant to
No,
clean the car
please.
this week. No, I'm
And-
glad I didn't, because it would look like I was trying to erase a crime scene.
Well, and the funny thing was that we said, I don't know which car seat goes to which. And when we were walking up, I said, okay, I have the left, you have the right. And then we sat them down, and she and I picked them up, and I went, I don't remember
one
which
kid
one
is
was
short
which.
and chunky, and one kid is long and skinny.
So when they get in and it doesn't fit, they'll have to
They'll
figure it out.
They'll figure it out.
Because as we were walking out, I was like, oh, I don't remember which one was which.
Lynn is really great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so she was great, and Alan was like, because I was very cryptic with him on the phone, I just don't want to tell him. He's like, do I need to come up there? I'm like, no,
That sounds
no,
like
no.
Alan.
He said everything's fine.
That's a good
I was
imitation.
like, she's all right. He's like, okay. So,
But you told him that Danny was...
I told Lynn more than I told him,
Okay.
just because it was on the phone. So I'm sure when Lynn left here, she called. So.
Am I just going to be here for, like, hours?
I don't think so. I mean, I
It's
think
gonna be that long.
I think they're just, quite honestly, waiting on the phone. Remember how we told you they put it on the machine?
Yeah, that he had to...
Right, to
yeah.
do the phone, and it just takes,
Forever.
depending what's on there,
Yeah.
as far as if you have lots of pictures of the kids, or, it takes some time to do that.
Yeah, it's nope, it's been cleaned.
Yeah.
And then,
Right,
They
when
actually
Sergeant
brought
Baldwin
your
goes
van back
out,
here.
we're shutting it down.
and I got the car seats out of that, and I think they were finishing up, so I think
I'm
that's
going
all
to need
they're
the
waiting.
police help to get the car seats back in.
You may.
I always have them installed here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back to smiling now.
And
Freak.
on the strap that goes over, we
Yeah.
hooked them.
Gosh, she pulled it back there. Did you see that? I think Sergeant Baldwin was like, "Why are you smiling like that at me?"
I think that's all
About fucking car seats.
I need
they're
the police
waiting.
help to get the car seats back in.
You may.
I always have them installed here.
Yeah, and on the strap that goes over, we
Yeah.
hooked them. I didn't tighten them as tight as they should be. I was like, "Here,
You know
can you
what?
see?" And she's like, "Nope, I'm good," because they weren't moving. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a true. That's why my face is so red, because I've been out there doing that. But I'll touch base with Isom. Hopefully, it's not
We wanted to talk to him about a potential lead, so...
okay.
Yeah.
I'll let him know.
Potential lead. And that is where we're cutting it off. A potential lead, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Yes, I wanted to talk with him about a potential lead. Jeff Lacasse. Okay, we will say thank you, good night, and so much thanks to the everyone in chat. The fantastic moderators, the bulletproof metrics moderators, the fantastic super sticker givers, the super chatters, the super coffee go-getters, and all those big thumb like clickers. Nice. Click like on the way out, guys, and we will see you. Oh, I've been told that I shouldn't. I have to go to the vet tomorrow. There's a lump on soap, and it's concerning. So hopefully that's nothing major. I will definitely aim to be on stream tomorrow, but we do what we can. So I'm not going to commit until I know I can commit, which will be coming soon. Starting the weekend, probably we'll be in a place where we can say, okay, we're doing these days at these times all week, every week, forever on metrics. And then we'll all know where we are, and people won't be filled with anxiety. Is he doing a show? Is he doing a show? Where's the show? He said he was going to do a show. That's fine. That's fine. Sorry that I'm a little disorganized sometimes, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So thank you, everybody, for being here, and we will say True Crime Metrics out.